6 lucky numbers to win big. Lottery jackpot on Thursday, 5th June 2020. 5. Buddhist teachings. Do you ever get the feeling that life is trying to tell you something? Like there's a hidden pattern just beneath the surface one that could shift your fortune, if only you knew how to read it. Here's the truth. Luck doesn't fall from the sky, it rises from within. And this Thursday, June 5th, 2025, is not just another day. It's a rare spiritual opening when 6 sacred numbers, drawn from timeless Buddhist teachings, align with the energy of the universe to open doors of abundance and deeper clarity. But don't be mistaken, this isn't just about winning a jackpot. This is about tuning into your inner frequency and allowing insight to guide your steps. Each number we'll explore carries more than financial potential. It offers lessons about intention, mindfulness, and how to rise above the chaos of modern life. So before we begin, take a moment like this video. Subscribe to The Journey of Wisdom and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of spiritual growth and your first step toward real fortune. Comment below. I am open to blessings and inner peace. Just writing those words plants a seed of awakening and shifts your energy toward possibility. 1. Number 30. 4. Progress over perfection. Number 34, progress over perfection, is not just a number. It's a quiet teacher, a nudge from the universe wrapped in the rhythm of Buddhist wisdom, whispering that life rewards those who dare to begin not, those who wait endlessly for the perfect moment. So many of us, especially between the ages of 30 and 65, hold on to our dreams like delicate china waiting for the right time, the right setup, the right version of ourselves. We tell ourselves, not yet, thinking someday we'll feel more confident, more equipped, more worthy. But someday is a mirage. Just like Johnson, a bright soul with a podcast dream who delayed for months because he feared it wouldn't be good enough. We often stall our purpose, waiting for permission. What unlocked Johnson's journey wasn't perfection, it was exhaustion with waiting. He finally pressed record, not because everything was ready, but because he realized that waiting was a slow surrender. And with that imperfect first step, the path unfolded. The beauty of number 34 lies in its components. 3. The number of creativity, heart, and self-expression. And 4. The number of structure, foundation, and steady action. Combined, they remind us that creative progress doesn't require a flawless planet, requires real steps grounded in intention. This is what Buddhists mean when they say, be here, not perfect. As the Buddha showed through his life, enlightenment doesn't come in a silent caveat, often begins in the noise of daily life. He didn't wait for ideal conditions to teach or meditate. He simply practiced the middle wire life, not of extremes but of balance. The message is clear. Your starting point doesn't need to be clean, it just needs to be honest. Whether it's writing that long overdue book, finally starting your healing journey, or simply speaking your truth, number 34 asks you not to delay your life. Clarity is a gift that blooms after you begin, not before. What you think you lack will often appear once you're in motion. So pause and ask yourself gently, what have I been waiting to start because I think I'm not enough yet? Now breathe and say this with heart. I move forward with presence, not perfection. These words are not just an affirmation, but a loving command to yourself to enroll in the course, even if you're scared. To begin the conversation, even if your voice trembles. To take a step, even when the path ahead isn't fully visible. Like the lotus flower that blooms from the mud, your progress doesn't have to be pretty to be meaningful. Number 34 may not win you applause, but it will walk beside you when you finally begin. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, you are perfect just as you are, and you can use a little improvement. Therein lies the paradox of real growth. It honors your current self while inviting your next step. Don't wait to be fearless, just be faithful. Don't wait for perfection, bring your presence. Because in this life, Motion is liberation, and your willingness to begin is already a form of winning. Number 3, the creative rebirth. Number 3, the creative rebirth is more than just a lucky number. It's a reminder that joy, expression, and authenticity are not luxuries, they're necessities of the spirit. After every ending in life, whether it's the close of a chapter or the loss of a dream, something quiet begins to stir again inside us. Not a shout, not a demand, just a whisper, a soft pull back to what lights us up. This is the gentle magic of number 3. It symbolizes the return of life, not just as survival, but as vivid, colorful expression. Thomas, once a young artist full of creativity, gradually left behind his paints and brushes for spreadsheets and deadlines. Life got serious. Someday, he told himself, I'll get back to it. But someday never came. Then one day, rummaging through the dust of old memories, he found his sketchbooks, and without overthinking it, he picked up a pen. That small act reopened a door. One sketch became many. One evening turned into weeks of painting, not for anyone else, but simply because it made him feel alive again. That's the spirit of number 3. Joy, rebirth, and the freedom to express ourselves without needing a reason. Spiritually, number 3 speaks to harmony of mind, body, and heart. In Buddhism, this aligns with the threefold training: right thought, right speech, right action. These are not rules to live by, they're a pathway back to ourselves, a way to reconnect with the truth of who we are when we're not trying to impress or survive. Have you ever noticed how often we silence our inner voice, bury our creativity in the name of being responsible or realistic? But what if joy isn't a distraction, it's a practice? What if it's your duty to make space for laughter, for play, for the parts of you that once dreamed freely? So let me ask you, is there something in you waiting to be expressed again? A song unsung, a story untold, a gift unused? Say it aloud with me. I choose playful courage and sacred balance. Let that be your personal vow today. You don't need to be loud, but you do need to be real. Start small, draw something, write a poem, sing in the shower, speak up when your heart nudges you. Because when you honor your joy, you aren't just lucky, you are whole. And that, my friend, is the jackpot worth winning. 3. Number 37. The Path of Awakening. Let me speak to you today, heart to heart, about a number that holds far more than just the promise of luck. It holds the invitation to wake up. The number 37 isn't just a lucky number for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. It's a quiet nudge from the universe, or maybe from your own inner wisdom, asking, are you awake to your life, or are you simply moving through it? You see, 3 and 7 together symbolize creativity and spiritual insight. 3 reflects the harmony of mind, body, and spirit. 7 whispers of deep reflection, intuition, and inner peace. When combined as 37, they form a path not to quick fortune, but to deep inner awakening. Think of Jack, a man who seemingly had it all: success, stability, and security. But one morning, as he sat alone in his car before a business meeting, he felt nothing. Not sadness, not anxiety, just a kind of blank, tired fog. He later said, I wasn't unhappy, I was unawake. And maybe that's something you felt too. Everything looks okay from the outside, but something inside aches for more. That week, Jack stumbled upon a talk about the 37 factors of enlightenment from the Buddha's teachings. He didn't memorize them, but one phrase stayed with him: awakening through awareness. So he began small and quiet minutes each morning, just breathing. No agenda, no fixing, just being. Over time, the fog began to lift. His world didn't change, but he did. He began to respond instead of react. To notice beauty in small things, to smile not because he should, but because he felt it. The Buddha once said, as a flower does not pick and choose the bees that come to it, so the awakened mind remains open to all experiences. This is the invitation of 37, not to chase something new, but to return to what's already inside you. The 37 factors of enlightenment: mindfulness, energy, joy, calm, presence, aren't abstract ideas. They are lived experiences. You don't need to master all of them today. You just need to begin with one. Maybe, like Jack, you pause for a few minutes each morning. Maybe you notice how your breath moves without effort. Maybe you let yourself really feel the warmth of the sun or the softness of silence. What part of you have you put to sleep just to survive the daily grind? Is it your wonder, your creativity, your sense of connection? Ask yourself that, not with guilt, but with curiosity. Because the most silent kind of suffering is when we look awake on the outside, but feel numb on the inside. This is your chance to change that, not by doing more, but by doing less. By remembering more deeply who you already are. So say this with me: I choose presence over performance. I awaken one breath at a time. Let it settle into your body. Let it remind you that you don't have to chase enlightenment. You only have to remember that it's possible. And if the number 37 is calling to you right now, maybe you're already on the path. Not toward a lottery jackpot, but toward something even richer. Your own awakened life. If you've made it this far, you're already aligning yourself with powerful energies for abundance. These 6 lucky numbers for Thursday, the 5th of June, 2025, aren't just about chance. They're guided by timeless Buddhist wisdom. Comment "Lucky Path" below to show your readiness to receive blessings and fortune. Stay with us until the end. There's more insight waiting to help you win big and live with purpose. 4. Number 10. The sacred threshold of new beginnings. The number 10 holds a special place not just in spiritual traditions, but in the quiet transitions of our everyday lives. It is the gentle threshold between who we were and who we are becoming. In the teachings of Buddhism, and echoed through many moments of real-life experience, we learn that true growth often begins not with a loud start, but with a soft ending. Consider the story of Sarah, who devoted 6 heartfelt years to building a wellness business that once lit up her days with purpose and pride. Yet over time, joy gave way to fatigue, and clarity to confusion. Still, she held on tightly, because letting go of something we've built with love can feel like losing a part of ourselves. But as she sat journaling at sunrise one morning, a message from within gently whispered, "This season is complete." That realization wasn't a signal of failure, but a sign of evolution. With grace, she stepped away and walked straight into a new path in teaching, one that brought a deeper sense of meaning. This is the quiet wisdom of number 10. The one represents a new beginning, fresh intention, and the courage to take the first step. The 0 symbolizes wholeness, the open space of infinite potential, and the spiritual pause that allows something new to form. Together, they offer more than just change. They offer conscious transformation. Buddhism teaches us about anicca, the truth of impermanence, that all things change, and our peace lies in flowing with it rather than resisting it. When something in your life begins to feel heavy or disconnected, it may not mean you've failed. It may simply mean you've outgrown that chapter. And just like the lotus that blooms only after releasing its roots from the mud, you too must honor what's ending so you can welcome what's next. So ask yourself, without fear or blame, what part of my life is asking to be released with love? It could be a routine, a job, a relationship, or even an old way of thinking. When you can answer with compassion, you'll find a new door quietly opening. Say it with courage and sincerity: I honor what has ended, and I trust what is beginning. Because the energy of number 10 doesn't shout or push, it simply invites you to step forward with grace, knowing that by lovingly closing one chapter, you make space for a new and even more meaningful one to unfold. 5. Number 18. Let go to grow. Number 18, let go to grow, is more than just a number in a sequence of luck. It carries a deeper energy, A call from the universe inviting you to release what weighs you down, so you can step into your true path. Think of it as a quiet friend who gently reminds you, you don't have to carry all of that anymore. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about making space for something better. There's a Buddhist story of a young monk who arrived at a riverbank with his teacher. The monk found a woman struggling to cross and, despite their vow to avoid physical contact with women, he carried her across. Later, the elder monk scolded him. "Why did you touch that woman?" The young monk replied, "I left her at the river's edge, but it seems you are still carrying her." This is the lesson of number 18. Are you still holding something you should have put down long ago? Maybe it's a grudge, a fear, or a relationship that no longer nourishes your spirit. Just like Linda, who stayed in an empty relationship out of duty, we sometimes confuse endurance with strength. But true strength lies in knowing when enough is enough. When she heard the words, "Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom," Linda chose peace over pain. She didn't burn bridges, she built a new path. And her life, instead of falling apart, began to unfold in new and beautiful ways. When we look at the numbers 1 and 8 in 18, we see a message. 1 urges you to take personal responsibility for your peace, and 8 reflects the karmic flow of your past choices. Together, they whisper, are you ready to free yourself from what no longer serves your spirit? As the Buddha taught, you only lose what you cling to. So, what are you still clinging to? Is it an old identity? A belief that no longer fits? A version of success that doesn't bring joy? Be honest with yourself. Speak it out loud, or write it in your journal with compassion, not judgment. And say this with intention. I release what no longer serves me and make space for peace. That's not weakness, that's wisdom, that's freedom. You are not meant to be weighed down by the past. You are meant to transform, like the lotus that rises from muddy water. So today, let go not with fear, but with faith. Let go, not in defeat, but in devotion to your own growth. The number 18 is your reminder. You are allowed to move on. You are allowed to bloom. 6. Number 28. The silent builder of wealth. Imagine this. You're holding a lottery ticket, not just for money, but for a deeper kind of fortune that grows quietly, like roots deep beneath the soil. Today, I want to talk to you directly, heart to heart, about the quiet strength of number 28, what I like to call the silent builder of wealth. This isn't about sudden riches or flashy jackpots. This is about the kind of wealth that grows in silence, nourished by consistency, compassion, and unseen devotion. Let me tell you a story not just for entertainment, but to plant a seed in your heart. Emma, a gentlewoman in her 40s, owned a small cafe in a sleepy coastal town. No big signs, no influencers, no shouting for attention. She simply showed up every day before sunrise to bake, to listen, to remember her regulars' favorite drinks. Her cafe became a sanctuary not because it was trendy, but because it was true. Years later, a wandering blogger stumbled in, shared the experience, and overnight, Emma's cafe became famous. But you see, her success didn't come from that blog post. It was built day by day, in the quiet hours, when no one was watching. That's what number 28 teaches us. When we look deeper, the 2 represents harmony and emotional connection, walking with people, not ahead of them. The 8 speaks of karma, what you plant, you will one day harvest. Together, they speak of wealth that grows from relationships, discipline, and right action. The Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we make the world. And in another saying, the Zen wisdom reminds us, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. What does that mean for you? It means enlightenment, true growth is found in the everyday effort, the humble work, the care you give without applause. Can you see an area in your life right now where you're quietly showing up, even if no one notices? Is it a dream you've been nurturing in silence? A family you're supporting behind the scenes? Or maybe a healing journey that no one else can see, but you walk it anyway. Number 28 invites you to trust that journey. In a world chasing quick wins, this number is your gentle reminder. Real fortune is built slowly. You may not see the results yet, but that doesn't mean the seeds aren't growing. So let me ask you, where in your life are you being asked to keep going, to show up, to give your best, even when no one claps? That's where your true lottery lies. And in the wisdom of number 28, you are already winning. By watching this far, you're inviting good karma and opening the door to unexpected blessings. The numbers we've shared are grounded in intention, not just luck. Comment "Karma of wealth" below to affirm your trust in this journey. Stay until the end, there's more to help you prepare your heart and mind for true abundance. The journey of wisdom. Rituals for real wealth. True wealth doesn't begin with a number in your bank account. It begins with the way you live each day. It's in your breath, your footsteps, and the kindness you offer to others. In the Buddhist tradition, wealth isn't measured by what you own, but by how you live, by avoiding harm, doing good, and keeping your heart at peace. These 5 simple practices are not superstitions. They are small, sacred acts of mindfulness meant to help you return to stillness, gain clarity, and feel a sense of abundance in the here and now. Each one is an invitation to pause, look within, and shift your energy from scarcity to a quiet sense of enough. Point 1. Number 1. Letting go at dawn. At the break of dawn, when the world is still wrapped in a gentle hush and the first light brushes the sky, we are offered a quiet yet powerful invitation, a chance to begin again. This sacred time is not just another morning, it's a subtle moment of transformation, where the burdens of yesterday can be loosened from our shoulders, like dew melting under the sun. Before we let our minds get hijacked by notifications, headlines, or to-do lists, we can choose a different ritual that honors our inner world. As you rise, pause, close your eyes, take a slow breath that reaches all the way into your belly, and let the words softly rise within you. Today, I let go of what no longer serves me. These words are not about forgetting or erasing the past. They are about unburdening the heart, loosening the grip of regret, resentment, or self-judgment that silently weighs us down. Just as we do not carry yesterday's meals into today's hunger, we must not carry yesterday's heaviness into today's hope. Every sunrise is a doorway, and with each one, life gently asks us, "Are you ready to be free?" This act of letting go is not a grand gesture, it's a quiet return to the present. A Zen saying reminds us, "Let go or be dragged." In today's fast-paced world where mental clutter is constant and emotional baggage accumulates silently, practicing this simple morning ritual becomes a form of inner wealth. It is your first treasure of the day, the freedom to live unchained from the past. Think of it like clearing space in your home. You're not discarding the memories, only creating room for light, air, and something new to enter. And so, with every breath, you loosen the knots that tie you to stories no longer true, fears that no longer protect, and wounds that no longer define you. In our modern lives, we often chase external success, forgetting that real wealth begins with emotional clarity and spiritual peace. When you start your day with the intention to let go, you're not being passive, you're reclaiming your power. You are saying, "I choose not to be ruled by yesterday's shadows." This subtle shift influences everything: how you speak, how you listen, how you treat others, and how you carry yourself through challenges. You walk into the day not as someone dragging a suitcase of unresolved pain, but as someone light enough to see opportunity, connection, and joy. There is a quiet strength in beginning your morning like this. It's not flashy, but it's profound. In the same way that farmers clear the soil before planting new seeds, we too must clear our hearts to allow something more beautiful to grow. This inner ritual is a form of discipline, not for control, but for compassion for ourselves and for others. And from that space, real wealth blossoms not in the bank, but in our presence, our relationships, and the peace we carry into each moment. As Thich Nhat Hanh wisely said, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. So let this be your first act of wealth each day. Not grasping, not achieving, but simply releasing so that what truly matters can rise with the sun. Number 2. Planting intentions, not just seeds. Before we begin anything, whether it's a new day, a project, or even just a conversation, take a moment to breathe and ask yourself, what is my true intention? In Buddhist practice, every action carries energy. This energy, known as karma, isn't just about what we do, but how and why we do it. So when we talk about planting seeds, we're not only talking about actions, but also about the intention behind them. It's not enough to simply go through the motions. It's your presence, your sincerity, that transforms a simple act into something sacred. Think about someone cooking a meal. They do it with love and gratitude. That food carries a deeper nourishment than calories. It feeds the heart. A kind word, when spoken with true sincerity, can plant the seed of trust in someone's soul. This is where real wealth begins, not in material gain, but in how we live our lives with purpose and mindfulness. Real wealth is living with meaning, not just productivity. So ask yourself, are you just moving through tasks, or are you living with purpose? Let me share a story. Long ago, a monk approached the Buddha, troubled and seeking clarity. He asked, "Master, how can I live a meaningful life?" The Buddha led him to a tree and said, "Plant this seed." The monk did so, expecting instant results. Days passed, and nothing happened. Frustrated, he returned. Buddha smiled and said, "You planted the seed, but you forgot to water it with care, patience, and intention." A seed grows not only with soil, but with the love we give it each day. This story reminds us that our actions, like seeds, must be nurtured with right intention if we hope to see them grow into something meaningful. So now, ask yourself, what kind of seeds are you planting each day? Are they guided by love, compassion, and purpose? Are they rushed, mechanical, and empty? The answer can reshape your path. By learning to act with mindful intention, we create a life filled with deeper connections, peace, and joy, not just achievements. The lesson here is simple yet powerful. Plant your intentions wisely, because they become the garden of your life. Number 3. 3-minute walking meditation. Let's take a deep breath together, right here, right now. If your day has been busy, stressful, or even just a bit dull, this simple practice I'm about to share can open a door inside you, a door to real wealth. Not the kind you keep in a bank account, but the kind you carry within you. It's called the 3-minute walking meditation, and trust me, you don't need a temple, a mountain, or even a quiet garden to practice it. You just need your body, your breath, and a small space to walk, maybe your hallway, your backyard, or even your office. Stand up gently, place your feet flat on the ground, feel the earth beneath you, and as you take your first step, say silently to yourself, "I am walking, I am alive, I am enough." With each slow step, feel the contact of your foot touching the ground, and allow that awareness to deepen. Don't worry about where you're going. In fact, the beauty of this practice is that you're not walking to somewhere, you're walking with yourself in this very moment. When was the last time you walked without thinking of your destination? No rushing, no planning, no calculating the next move. Just you, the movement, and the breath. Most of us spend our lives hurrying from one task to another, chasing after goals, or escaping from worries. But what if you could find peace not by getting more done, but by being fully present as you move? The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This walking meditation is a way of returning to that peace, of letting each step be a gentle bow to life itself. It's not about effort, it's about awareness. When you walk like this, You're training your mind to be here, not lost in the past or racing into the future. And that, my friend, is a form of freedom. A treasure. A kind of real wealth. Think about it. Isn't true wealth having the ability to enjoy this moment without needing anything more? Isn't it a kind of success to be able to say, right now, I am enough? Imagine a world where you could carry this inner calm into your daily life, into traffic, into meetings, into conversations. How would your relationships change if you brought this sense of presence with you? How would your stress levels drop if, just for 3 minutes a day, you gave yourself permission to just walk? This is a practice of soft power, of inner strength. You're not avoiding the world, you're grounding yourself in it. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Zen master, once said, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." Each step can be a gesture of love, and not just toward the ground, but toward your own life. So, I invite you, try it now or later today. Set a timer for 3 minutes, stand with intention, and take each step like it matters. Because it does. You matter. Your peace matters. And this moment, right now, is a perfect place to begin. So tell me, when was the last time you felt truly present? Not just physically in a space, but emotionally and spiritually alive in it. How might your life shift if you began to treat your every step as a gift, rather than a chore? Let this question walk with you today. If this practice touched something in you, leave a comment with just one word: enough. Let's remind each other that in this moment, we are already whole. Number 4. Evening Gratitude Journal. As the day comes to a close and the noise of the world begins to soften, there is a quiet yet powerful ritual that can gently guide us toward inner peace and real wealth. Keeping an evening